Today's video is a bit of a weird one. There's no better way of putting it. I bought a brand new 15-year-old laptop, and today we're going to be unboxing it. Specifically, an HP EliteBook 6930p from 2009. These new old stock EliteBooks have been going around in friend groups for a little over a month now at this point, and at first I wasn't going to buy one since I didn't need another laptop. However, while I was working on the Linux video, I got a little distracted and I looked at the listing, and I couldn't resist the opportunity. This 6930p wasn't exactly a model I was overly looking for, but I mean, come on, it's a brand new 15-year-old laptop. I don't think I need to really explain myself anymore. Based on the sticker on the side, it appears to have a P8600 Core 2 Duo, 4 gigs of RAM, a 160GB hard drive. The BIOS in the listing photos seems to mention an ATI video card, and I think these come with Windows XP, but we'll see in a little bit. Otherwise, the tape on this hasn't been broken. It's still intact. This thing has never seen the light of day, so yeah. With that out of the way, I really wanted to just rip into this immediately because the more I thought about it, the cooler and cooler it seemed, but I wanted to handle this thing with care, as it says on the box, because who knows if I'm ever going to get an opportunity like this again. Seriously, this type of thing doesn't happen very often, and I only get one shot at this. As I mentioned earlier, I don't need another Core 2 Duo, but this purchase cost me $78 after tax, so I'm definitely going to be putting it to use. After cutting the tape, the laptop is front and center, but there's an accessories box that I figured would be worth going through first, of which the seal on it is still intact. The contents of it have definitely shifted over the years, but they're still there. We have a box for the charger, which is a 90-watt charger, which I think means this must have a pretty decent GPU in it if it needs a beefy power adapter. It also has the cord for it, and the battery is also hiding in this box. I'd be amazed if it even works at all, because 15-year-old battery, but there we go, it's there. Also in the box is some discs for the operating system and the drivers and applications. I've already made images of these and I put them on the Internet Archive just for good measure, even though they're probably already there. I'll link them down in the description if you really care. But I'd be very surprised if this thing does not come with Windows XP, since it literally has the discs for it. It also has the Notebook Essentials for the HP Notebook PC, the warranty guide, which probably expired a long time ago, and business notebook accessories, which is cool. I'm definitely going to be hanging on to this box, so I'll put it all back in its original box for the meantime. With that out of the way, it's time for the main attraction. It's kind of hard to describe just how insane this whole situation is. This laptop that has literally never seen the light of day before. I'm gonna be real, it was pretty hard to keep myself composed while actually doing this unboxing. This is just seriously insane, this whole situation with this laptop. It's still wrapped in its original plastic, and the seal on the plastic has yet to be broken. This is the first time this laptop has ever seen the light of day. But it's time to break that seal and remove this thing from its bag. I mean, just look at it. It's perfect. I've never seen a machine of this age with no dust in the ports, no scratches, no dents, no dings, no signs of use, nothing. I mean, this thing is so freaking clean. It is insane. It's so clean, I almost don't even want to use it. Alright, let's go ahead and open the lid. This is where I noticed a bit of an issue. This laptop used rubber coatings on the touchpad and track point buttons, and after so many years, they've started to deteriorate. This is something my computer daddy, Jordan Woolery, and several other people have also experienced with theirs as well. It actually took a fair bit of work to get the display open, although the buttons themselves don't actually look to be that bad. However, there's definitely residue stuck to the top bezel of the display, so it definitely was keeping the screen closed. I mean, otherwise, just look at it. Again, I'm saying the same things, but I'm stunned. I've never seen something this old, this clean and mint before. I just gotta power it up at this point. I decided, since I have enough of these power adapters anyway, that I would leave the original power adapter in its box and instead use an existing 120 watt power supply that I already have. The power plug appears to be on the back of this machine, which is interesting. But without further ado, it's time to plug it into the wall. Here we go. The machine fires up immediately without pressing the power button, so one of my suspicions was confirmed. The CMOS battery has long died in this machine, which is fair enough. Otherwise, here we go. This thing has the aforementioned Core 2 Duo CPU, 4 gigs of RAM, the ATI video card. It doesn't appear to see the battery at all, which is completely what I expected. And the BIOS date appears to be from 2009. Before we boot into the operating system, I figured I'd set the date and time since it's been reset back to default. Otherwise, let's see what's on the hard drive. Thankfully, the hard drive still appears to work. You never know with drives of old age. Immediately after exiting the BIOS, it appears to be booting into a pre-boot software environment, so most likely the software configuration wasn't completed on this thing. I could tell straight away, based on the sounds the drive was making, that this has to be a Fujitsu drive, so it probably will be replaced, because those aren't exactly the best in past experience, but we'll see. Something else I noticed with this thing straight away is that the display appears to be really dim on this machine. I tried using the function keys to increase the brightness, but this didn't seem to be doing anything, so maybe it'll work when we get into an operating system, but I'm not really sure. It only took about a few minutes for that process to complete, however, and indeed, this thing appears to have Windows XP, which is fine. It probably would have been better on this thing than Vista anyway. I figured I'd go ahead and unmute the speakers so we can hear that music when it's done. Or not. Well, that's lame. Whatever. This is why we have video editing to fix this. Thank you for purchasing this computer from Hewlett-Packard featuring Microsoft Windows XP. Otherwise, it's just your standard Windows XP setup stuff. There's not really a whole lot going on, just your usual computer name, time zone settings, and other stuff. Looks like after the out-of-box experience, the computer needs to restart, which is fun. We have the credential manager on the logon screen. Ooh, fancy. This thing does have a fingerprint reader, so that makes sense. And it's got to install more software. Great. And a short while later, we're done. Here's the desktop. Even in its operating system, the brightness of the display appears to be at its max, so this thing just must have a dim screen out of the box. Weird. Anyways, it's time to go into Device Manager to see what I'm working with. Indeed, it appears to have a Fujitsu hard drive. I can't imagine it's of great quality. It also appears to have the ATI Mobility Radeon HD 3450 GPU. So, actually, that's not too bad. I was expecting this thing to come with, just a pretty basic or crap card, but 3450 is actually far from the worst thing you could have done. This would have been a pretty good machine for XP. I forgot to mention this is a Centrino machine, so it has Intel Wi-Fi, which is actually a pretty good thing. As far as programs, there's not a lot out of the box. It has the Catalyst Control Center for the GPU, as well as the Intel Matrix Storage Manager, a copy of Microsoft Office 2007, definitely a trial since it has the Activation Assistant. I believe this is maybe the Home and Business Edition or something. I'm not exactly sure of Office editions off the top of my head, and it doesn't really say, but I don't have a key for this, and I don't really care. It also has HP Protect Tools Security Manager, which appears to house the aforementioned credential manager that was on the logon screen. It also has drive encryption, which is cool. It also has HP software setup, which turns out there's actually a lot more stuff that you can install after the setup is complete. So I just decided to install all of it just for fun. I gotta be honest, this is a pretty nice feature. Being able to choose what bloat you have out of the box instead of just uninstalling a bunch of unnecessary bloat, it's a pretty good feature. While it was doing that, for fun, I decided to check the hard drive and crystal disk info just to see how many hours this machine has. I already know it's a Fujitsu drive, and again, I can't imagine it's anything any good, but just for fun. It appears to have a tools partition out of the box. This isn't a recovery partition, there's barely anything on the drive, so not quite sure what the point of this is, but the hard drive has been powered on a total of 90 times and it has 31 hours. Interesting. Otherwise, after more time, the install eventually completed, so now I have to do a system restart. There was even more stuff in the optional settings, so I did the exact same thing again, installing all of that stuff. Again, no reason, I just felt like it. I'm probably not keeping this install of Windows anyway. I'm probably going to install Windows 7 on this machine, or maybe Linux, so that's kind of why I'm doing this. And after one more reboot, straight away, the McAfee Total Protection Service is here to greet us on startup. I can't complain, I had the option to not install it. My guess is maybe this is a cut down version of internet security that would have normally come preloaded with HP stuff. Not entirely sure. I'm sure somebody will probably comment below. As far as the programs in this menu, it has HP Update, which I'm not on the internet, so this isn't going to work anyway. Intervideo WinDVD, which is fun. Specifically WinDVD 8 SE. Bit of an interesting program to ship with a business laptop. PDF Complete Special Edition. 3 Roxio programs, Creator Business DVD, which unlike that XPS doesn't actually appear to be expired this time. Puh, that's a logo. It appears to be a disc making program, which is cool. Express Labeler. I didn't actually know what this was at first, but it appears to be a pre-included LightScribe label maker program, which is actually kind of cool to have. I forgot to mention, this thing does have a LightScribe drive in it, so yeah, that's actually kind of neat. And MyDVD10, which appears to be a DVD maker program. It also has a notebook accessories tour, the Wi-Fi connection utility, the LightScribe utilities, the aforementioned McAfee software, and Windows Live Messenger. So yeah, not a bad load of software on this machine, to be honest. Not too much stuff. I like it. I think that's going to be about it for this unboxing, really. I mean, there's only so much I can do in this video. This is definitely not going to be the last time you're going to be seeing this machine, however. I mean, this thing is just so cool. I'm going to be doing something with it. I can't put something like this to waste. I'll definitely probably get some upgrades for it, and I'll definitely be doing some more videos on it. And I'll need to take care of the things like the battery issues, maybe those touchpad buttons, but I'll have to see how those fare with age, because like I said, I don't think mine are actually that bad. They look a lot worse than they actually are. Those types of things I'm willing to put up with though. I mean, otherwise, it's a brand new 15-year-old laptop. This thing is basically not going to need any work at all. What an opportunity.